blah.
Randy.
There's a sparkle in your eyes. I feel the warmth of your skin. Just the touch of your hand makes me do love. It's a smile on your face. The smile on your face. And as time goes by, I know I'm in a better place. I'm in a better place.
Welcome to Put It All on Red. I have someone here as a guest. Well, as actually his family, because he's been here before. And I'm just so excited about tonight. We're going to be talking about authentic love. I added some intentional love because I think sometimes we date out of intentions, or our own intentions. But anyway, I'm gonna let my guest go ahead and introduce himself to the audience.
Good afternoon or evening. Thank you for having me. First and foremost, I'm Clinton Patton. I'm the founder and CEO of Clinton Senior Speaks, where I often speak about topics about domestic violence prevention. I also am the founder of a nonprofit organization called the Ashley Renee Hamilton Foundation, an organization on a mission to end domestic violence. I'm also an author. I have a new book coming out. It's called Wonder Why He Calls You Bitch: Understanding Disrespectful Behavior and When to Walk Away. So be on the lookout for that as well.
All right. Now, for one, let's go ahead and do a emotion check-in. This has been a very stressful time of year for me. I think the last month, before we came on, we were talking about life been life. So the last month and a half, life has been life for me too. And so I just want to do an emotion check-in. Tonight, I'm a little anxious. And I think I may be like a 6 or a 5. The week is I'm almost at tomorrow be Wednesday. So I'm doing good getting through this week. But I'm on a 5 or 6 because I kind of need a nap, I think. But but anyway, where would you say you at?
Well, I've been dealing with stress regarding co-parenting, so I would say probably like a 8.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good. That's good. You're doing better
Like
than me.
I mean, and
All
I say
right.
the reason I say 8 is like, with me knowing what I know and the expertise and the education that I have, is just kind of difficult when you are not on the same wavelength as the other parent.
Yeah, definitely different. I think when you talk about that, you talk about parenting styles, and there's so many different parenting styles, and unfortunately, that's something else that kind of goes into our topic tonight when we're talking about dating. We don't even think about what parenting styles those individuals come from. That's the strange thing about how our society is set up. When we date each other, we just date because you look good, I look good, and that
Hmm.
chemistry go off, and we thinking, okay, we got a match, but we don't
Hmm.
think about the other things that I've already set up, foundations we both got set up, and how that's going to come together. We're gonna get into that, I believe, because that's kind of what. Well, so I understand what you're meaning, but it's good, that you're able to co-parent. I think that's wonderful.
No, that's
Now
not. It ain't.
today,
It ain't been.
huh?
That's the issue. It has been extremely difficult to co-parent. So
Okay.
in dating experiences, I think some of us as parents get lost in our own what we want and our own desires to the point to where we don't think about how our decisions impact our children.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So when there's kids involved, see, I know for myself as a father, you got society looking at you as if you're not capable of raising a kid or nurturing a kid. You got society looking like the mother's always the better parent, regardless of whatever she does.
Yeah.
And then you have society looking at the father who could be controlling if he exhibits any type of care or concern for maybe the person that the child is the mother is dating, and go and vice versa.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, you know what, as we come into like right now an era of I think knowledge, right?
Hmm.
Is we have the internet, we have all these we have news and we're bombarded with information at all times. I think that you brought in dating. Dating with children is especially difficult because you always have to be, you know, mindful of where that individual came from too, if it's not your child, you know, because you want the best for your child and you don't want someone who's been experienced or open to trauma to subject your child to it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but you know when you're dating someone, you don't want to see the red flag, so you ignore them,
Hmm.
and then you ignore them until something happens. Like when there is when you're dating with a child, there's no way that you should be making a decision to jump into a relationship with someone that you don't know, and then to some people like to date with their kids, that with people that they do not know.
Yeah.
So what I've started talking to some of the people I work with about is they call and ask about dating, and I tell them, well, don't involve your kids. It's just
Yeah.
that simple. You can date a person for a year or 2 years or whatever, how many years, and they don't have to be around your kids, because at the end of the day, for my women, like as a woman, you're not stronger than a man. If a man wants to hurt you, he can hurt you.
Yeah.
And that's and if he hurts you, then he hurts the kid, right? Or if you can't defend your child, then he get to hurt the kid anyway. So it's very important to make sure that you are on the same page with your child's father, because he is another man, and
Yeah.
not every man has intentions of being controlling just because they state that I don't like your partner because this is what's going on. Like there's unresolved trauma, there is um, domestic violence, there is he may have a history of sexual trauma. Those are
Hmm.
red flags to any parent that has a young child or any type of child. And regardless,
Yeah.
I understand that people have their traumas, but that doesn't mean that you'd have to be okay with that just because people
Hmm.
have traumas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like your child should be the most important thing that you are looking out, that you are trying to create a safe environment for. So
Yeah.
a lot of what I've came across is there are a lot of mothers who feel like they can do what they want to do just because they have the kid, and they don't have to, talk to the father about it or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's where if you that's where a lot of our children get hurt in homes when they're with the mother sometimes. And I'm not bashing mothers. I want to be clear. What I'm saying is, as a man, we need the same respect, the same um, encouragement that you would give a mother for our children. We shouldn't have to worry about, oh, is it going to seem like I'm being controlling because I don't like a certain individual that has these certain red flags.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to see like or being seen as I'm crazy because I don't like certain things that could be detrimental down the road, just because you have these wants and desires for a specific individual.
Yeah.
It's important to you have to really look at that person's background. And I'm not talking about doing OSCN and all that. Yes, we know that, but everything don't show up on OSCN.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything don't show up on the Ripley's, whatever. Everything don't show up on that. If they've
Wow.
never gotten caught in the stuff that they do, then it's not gonna show up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And even dating and ignoring the red flags. The worst place that you can leave your child is with a boyfriend.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's
And
been
I,
proven
yeah.
time and time again.
Yeah. Yeah.
They do not like your kids. And that could be a girlfriend too. They do
Yeah.
not like they don't like your kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, I think that the truth is we really don't know people. And even
Right.
if you're dating them 2 years, I know situations where people were with people 20 years and didn't know them.
Right.
Some of their deviances, like they might have been in love with another sex with the same sex
Yep.
and play like they were in love with that person for those 20 years and went on trips with their same buddy, but
Right.
that was who really they were in love with.
But
um
see,
so
sometimes it's extremely important. Never ignore your gut.
yeah,
Never ignore your gut.
yeah,
Your gut is going to tell you the truth. It's going to
yeah,
tell you the truth. Your gut's going to protect you.
yeah.
Never ignore your gut.
Now I would like to go back to the question that was on there.
Okay.
It asked, should you have rules for both parent if they are if two people in the relationship? Do you think it's important to let some rules for the child or both parents at home?
It is about the
Yeah,
child. It is about the child. Yes. The child's going to need stability and structure in both homes, so the rules should be the same.
yeah, yeah.
And if I don't feel like the person who is dating the parent should really, I don't think they should have a say so on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I don't either. I think it should be both biological parents.
Hmm.
And I think it should be mutual. So I
Right.
think that you should have a conversation like, what does this look like? And you just should be honest with yourself. Because as a woman, I know some women are fixers. So meaning they'll get a guy and try to fix him.
Right.
And if you're a fixer and you get guys and you try to fix them and you have a child, that's not
Hmm.
really a good combination right there.
Right.
Uh, so just being honest with what do I do? How do I do it? And am I a fixer? Do I kind of get people who are seedy or sketchy and I try to make them into what I have in my head,
What you?
who they are. So some people can do that and they get into relationships and they make it, what is it, a system out of it. Because
But
yeah,
the thing with that is when you try to fix someone, you really should be fixing your self esteem.
yeah, yeah. I think so.
Because it's a sense of entitlement for you to believe that you need to fix someone versus growing with someone. When you want to fix someone, it's a sense of entitlement. So then when you put these unrealistic expectations on this person that you shouldn't try to fix in the first place, now you become disappointed. And now your self esteem is a lot lower than what it was in the first place.
Right, right, right. Now, I see it says, what if the woman moved in with the man? I think that's where he was kind of saying, like, that's where the danger starts at, because most, and I know he knows this because this is his specialty, but most men who are abusive, they carry the power with the finances. So
Yeah.
and they present well together. So I'm just letting you ladies know, if the guy looked too good,
Hmm.
it might be a possibility the guy may be underlying abusive, because that's one of them, right, Cliff?
He's gonna look good. He's gonna be charming, but he's also gonna be manipulative. Um, in my opinion, another man, I don't care if he's providing whatever he provide for that household of the mother, but another man has not is really has anything to do with the child that I am taking care of. So the rules don't he don't have a say in the rules. I don't that's not his place. Because if anything happened to the child, it's not gonna go to the person, whatever. I mean, I don't believe that. Like, kids are so important that we have to be careful who we have in our children's life. There is no question that children need both parents.
Yeah.
But the problem is that our society doesn't really grasp the concept that a father is going to protect whether he's in that household or not.
Yeah.
And he should not be ridiculed or seen as controlling if he's protecting from a place of protection of the child. Because you can have another parent, the other parent could be making terrible decisions. And so what society would want you to do, well, it's controlling, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then, so I'm supposed to sit back if I know something that is detrimental to my child's well-being. I'm supposed to sit back because I don't want to seem controlling.
Mm-hmm.
No, absolutely not. It takes one time for your child to be touched the wrong way, or something to be said to them, or they witness something to change the trajectory of your child's life.
Yeah.
Think about all of the children who were sexually abused by the boyfriend.
Yeah.
And because the mother was so caught up in the lust of the for the boyfriend, the child come to tell the mother that it's happening. That the mother defends the person,
Mm-hmm.
and then but we ignore red flags leading up to that. If you are witnessing your friend, a mother, or someone picking the same type of dude, the manipulative dude, and they're so quick to be quote unquote in love to a point to where it seems so immature to where you like, hold on, wait a minute. You got to be careful because those type of women will allow something to her to happen to their kid and then defend the person or not defend the child or not even do anything about it.
Yeah.
And if you don't protect yourself, then you will not be able to protect the kid. And the topic we got to talking about authentic love. That's why it's so important for you to know as a parent what love is. Love is what it is and how genuine love is, how authentic love is. It's not lustful. Love is infinite. Meaning, if I tell you that I love you, I've chosen to love you, and that love for you will never end.
Yeah.
Never end because it's infinite. But if I see what I like and I'm lusting for you, yeah, it's gonna be cool, it's gonna be good, it's gonna feel good. Give me a rush. Like it's almost like a gambler, like the same thrill you get from gambling, right? You get it for a new for a new relationship. Now, the thing that we don't talk about at all is extended lust because lust don't fade. Lust comes in cycles.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you have an event. Okay, I like this girl. Oh, she's so fine. She bad. She look good or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm lusting for her, right? But the moment, let's say she drink too much, now I'm mad, right? So the lust is gone at that point, right? But then she come to me and she say, "I'm so sorry, babe. I didn't mean to drink like that. It won't happen again." Then I'm like, "Oh my God, she took accountability." So now I'm lusting because she showed me a sense of accountability.
Yeah.
So now it's another lustful cycle. And then boom, let's say she do it again or she does it again. Now I'm mad again and she come back and she's apologized. I'm like, oh my God, she did it again. She apologized. So now I'm lusting again. But what people confuse love with is extended lust. Love is infinite. Love is peaceful. Love is protection. You know, when I used to hear black women complain about being protected, I heard I don't feel loved. And we all deserve to be loved, but the love has to be love.
Yeah.
You'll never get love from extended lust. Extended lust often turns into toxicity because that's what the examples I just gave you. All of that is toxic and it creates fear. And with love, there is no fear in love, for perfect love casts out all fear.
Yeah.
We could be made perfect in love and not be a perfect person.
Yeah.
But once we are coming from a fearful place, now we're living in torment.
Yeah.
So torment looks like I'm going to enter into a relationship and I have trust issues. Now I'm fearful that I can't trust the person that I'm with. Now I'm fearful that that person may cheat on me. Now I'm fearful that that person may leave me.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm fearful that that person doesn't really care for me, right?
Right.
There isn't any love in that fearful thought or that fearful mindset.
Mm-mm.
Love has nothing to do with fear. If you look at the dating today,
Yeah.
fear, fear is the pool that everybody swim in because they don't want to be hurt like they were hurt in the last relationship. But even the last relationship that they were in was based in fear.
Yeah.
So as long as you keep extending the lust, you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
extend the fear.
Yeah.
And the fear is gonna go in cycles too, because the foundation of extended lust is fear, even though it may feel good.
Yeah.
Because extended lust will leave you in the fairy tale mindset,
Yeah.
even when it's not a fairy tale.
Yeah.
But love corrects you. Love protects you. Love is, hey babe, don't go down I-35 because there's an accident and it looks bad.
Yeah.
Go down to 240.
Yeah.
Hey babe, don't go to the club tonight. Somebody's been shooting out there. Hey
Yeah.
babe, listen, don't wear that short skirt because I don't want men to get the wrong impression about you. You are valuable, you are beautiful.
Yeah.
But if you sometimes when you say that to certain people, it's oh my God, he's trying to control what I'm wearing. He's trying to control me.
Yeah.
But a woman made in love knows when a man loves them. When
Yeah.
that woman does not really know what love is, she will sacrifice her entire relationship
Yeah.
because she's unhappy.
Yeah. 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 I agree with you. Because people do it, and
Yeah,
people get into relationships for different reasons.
yeah.
So,
As a
yeah.
as a man,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you now. If a man don't understand that God is love and he's made in God's image,
Yeah.
he ain't gonna love you.
Right. Right.
If a man doesn't have some type of spiritual competence, he has no conscience
Yeah.
and he's gonna hurt you.
Yeah. 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 And I believe that because they don't have it's a foundation.
Yeah, no morals, no,
Yeah.
they don't
It's
have
a
no
it's a
conscience. They'll
foundation.
hurt you,
Yeah. So
and
if you
it
don't
looks
have any
like
foundation. Yeah.
narcissism. And I
Yeah.
don't use that word loosely.
Yeah. 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 It's real. It's real. I've heard a lot about narcissism in the last 4 years, because
Yeah.
before they didn't talk about it. Uh,
So, oh my bad.
Go ahead.
Narcissism has been a catchphrase. You right in the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that it's been a catchphrase, because when you are a victim and you're in a domestically abusive relationship, you want to know why this person is doing you the way he or she is doing you. So you're gonna stroll up and down social media, and of course, abusers have symptoms of narcissism, but it doesn't make them a narcissist.
Yeah.
So you're gonna look, and now it's like, oh my God, that's why you get the term. I'm surviving narcissistic abuse. You're really surviving domestic violence.
You're right. Right.
You
Right.
know, you survive domestic violence. You have experienced domestic violence.
Yeah. Yeah.
But narcissism, there it's only 6 to 13% of the population has been diagnosed with narcissism. It's a rare diagnosis.
Yeah.
And narcissism is not learned. Domestic violence is.
Yeah. 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 It's something that can be carried on from generation to generation.
Right. It could be taught.
It could have different parties involved. So
Yeah.
it could happen to your, great grandmother, to your grandmother, on to your mother, on to
Right.
you.
Yeah.
And because it fits into that trauma cycle, which the truth is, a lot of people, they go towards that. Like you were saying, you have to have some precautions. You have to make some rules, especially if you have a child involved,
Yeah.
because we just in a world so much does happen. And I just want to say this because I know your story, your first book, it was about being abused,
Oh
by a
yeah.
boyfriend.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's another thing that's been difficult. When I say difficult for the co-parenting is that I know what it's like to be left alone. You know, left alone. I know what it's like to be left alone with somebody that's not your father. I know what it's like to be left alone and you feeling like you have to do something as a 6-year-old to save your own life because you couldn't find no school clothes.
Yeah.
You know, I know what it's like to have a parent who decided my other parent couldn't be a part of my life and moved from state to state and just drug me with her. You know, and then when you try to talk to her about these things that has had some type of impact, it's like, oh my God, there is no accountability. So then I started to notice the same type of behaviors in my situation.
Yeah.
So now as a 44-year-old man,
Yeah.
still remember and recall the things that happened to me as a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
Um, I am very cautious. I don't trust people around my kids like that. I have
Yeah.
to really know you. I have to know you, right?
Yeah.
And my superpower is actually being a therapist. So I do know behaviors. I do recognize red flags. I
Mm-hmm.
do see this stuff. Like I've been in the mental health field for over 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
My experience is on top of my knowledge and education, and I'm going to use it to make sure that my child and other people's children have the best opportunity to be
Right.
healthy in a relationship. Because relationships are the most important concept on earth.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need them. It
Yeah.
took 2, 4, 6 people for us to have this conversation today.
Right. Right.
But you think about it, the relationship that made us, some of them aren't are not together or haven't been together for a while.
Yeah.
Our community will become a better place to live when we start keeping the families together, when we stop breaking the homes.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, you know what, I always think of this too. We're talking about relationships. Relationships go farther just than, you know, a sexual partner or someone
Yeah,
in that it goes to the family, to
yeah,
that nucleus, that environment you're in, you know, wherever you live. Relationships are the people you go get gas. Oh, hey, how you doing? They
yeah,
recognize the
yeah.
person, you know, in general. And so I think we just we came so far away from it because when I was a child, everybody knew you.
Everybody knew who you were. That's
Right,
such and such and
right,
such and such family. Boy, don't do that. You know, a girl don't
right,
do right. Yeah,
right. And everybody held you somewhat
yeah.
accountable. So
Hmm.
you had an accountable piece. And then you knew if they told such and such, surely it's going to get back. So that was a
Right.
relationship within a whole community. And we don't have that anymore, but we don't even say we want a relationship like that anymore. Or we even want relationships
It's
with people.
it's because they somehow had made relationships like they make them toxic, but they also make it seem like like a person is something wrong with the person who wants a relationship. So dating, right? We have to really step away from traditional dating in order to build healthy relationships.
Mhm.
This is what I mean. Instead of a man is probably going to lead with what he can do. He's going to take you out, buy you food, whatever, money, right?
Mhm.
Stop doing that. Don't go out to eat. Don't go nowhere where you spend money at. Start finding
Mhm.
free things to do. So now the man can't manipulate you or make you feel like you need something from him, right? Now he's got
Correct.
to be genuine. He's got to be
Mhm.
genuine. I mean, because um, go to art museums. Go to places that don't require spending money for the first couple of months and watch what type of person you will see. And as a woman, your value is not tied to how much money this man can spend on you. Because
Mhm.
he can spend a lot of money on you and still abuse you.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
He
Yeah.
can spend a lot of money on you and still manipulate you.
Mhm.
When you
Yeah.
move money away from the situation, you're less likely to experience being manipulated because that's one of the tools they use to be manipulative towards women that they're dating. And the women
Mhm.
go back and say, "Oh my God, like he got some money, he is this and that or whatever," You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm about to get a bag, but you about to get a bag of manipulation. You about to get a bag of emotional abuse. You about to get a bag of being physically abused. You about to get a bag of low self-esteem. You about to get all everything in that bag on top of that
Oh,
money,
you might get into a bag, huh?
right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
You
now
never
you
work
carry the
with
bag
that.
because you don't want to do the work to find
Mm-hmm.
out who you're dating.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll never forget, and this is what made me believe that people don't know what love is. I heard my ex say, I pray for God to send me a man that loves me. I have been with this young lady, this woman, 15 years. When I heard that, my initial response was, ain't no way you could be saying anything like that. And I've been with you 15 years of my life. And for
Yeah.
you to say that, it leads me to believe that you absolutely, without a doubt, don't know what love is.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of people don't. I mean, they really don't. Like I said again, you talk about all across the board, relationships,
Yeah,
even family. You know, I've
yeah,
had family do some pretty harsh stuff to me, and I'm like, okay, if you love me the way I love you, for
hmm,
one, you would have some grace.
right,
Two, you have some empathy, right?
right.
So how can you love me? How can you say you love me? You don't have any of that for me. And then I'll
Man,
ask, what does that mean to you? They don't know.
no,
So
no.
you
That even with dating, you'll be able to weed out any person that's not for you by asking a simple question.
mm,
What do you think love is?
a lot of people don't know.
The moment they start talking about, well, it's a deep feeling, it's a feeling, it's a deep feeling, you know that person don't know what love is.
Mm-mm,
When they start
mm-mm.
talking about how love and feelings is love is not a feeling.
Yeah, yeah,
Love is God. Love is
yeah,
a spirit.
yeah.
It's a spirit.
And
It's your soul.
yeah, yeah. And it's forgiving, and it's
Yeah.
empathetic.
It's
It-
graceful,
yeah,
peaceful. It's
yeah,
going to correct you, but it's also going to protect you. It
right.
is not abusive, and God would never ever want any persons to stay with an abuser.
Mm-mm.
God wouldn't even want the abuser to be abusive. So why would he
No,
want you to stay in a situation with an abuser? There is no fear in love, and that's
right,
just not love. Abusers operate
right.
off of fear, and they never really abusers don't get into it with other men. Well, male abusers don't.
Mm-mm.
They make great prisoners. Like they'll go to prison, do their time like it's nothing, get out with good behavior,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't know what love
Yeah,
is either.
no, no. Because their
And
abuse is
another thing,
based off of self-esteem as well.
yeah, love is not manipulative. Love
No,
is gonna tell you the truth.
yeah,
Love is gonna see you for who you are, tell you the truth, and grant you grace to grow.
yeah, yeah. And respect boundaries and respect,
Right.
like, that question about the rules. Love and understanding respects that.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Respect.
just
Okay, we gotta have. Go ahead.
so my take on other men raising my daughter, or my even with my
Mm-hmm.
son, I've had, the kind of he's older now, so I don't have those type of issues because we could talk or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
there is something, even what I told my kids' moms, like, do not take anything from another man for my kid. They was like,
Mm-hmm.
but why? Because
Yeah.
you never know if that man is using you to groom your own child.
Oh wow. Yeah.
You never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. And
Because
that
he
happens.
haven't, you just never know. He have her number, whatever he called it. You never know if that man is using
Yeah.
you to groom your child
Yeah.
or woman.
Yeah.
Because what happens
Right.
when y'all break up? You know what I mean? Y'all break up and then he still got a number and stuff and then he calling. No, no, not mine. And it may be
Right.
because of my experiences, but you never want your child to experience the trauma that you had growing up.
Yeah.
You never want your child to do that, regardless if you're a man or woman, mother or father. You should never
Yeah.
want your child to experience the stuff that you did growing up.
Yeah.
And looking back on what I've experienced, it taught me the weaknesses in the environment that I was living in.
Yeah.
See, nobody told my mother, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
If they are
Yeah.
married, my bad. You gonna read it?
Oh, go ahead. You said if they're married. I think even if they're married, I mean, that's the worst situations, to be honest, that I've seen if there's no boundaries and no open communication. Because I've seen a lot of grooming in those situations. Because you got to think a manipulative or an abusive man usually carries his power in that, in
Yep.
ownership of, if it's a woman, her children, a woman, that
Yeah,
child. Yeah, they cover it. So I think it should be open to everybody. I think that's the idea. And I think that man should be respective of that, because, for me, even as a woman, if I married a guy, he has children, I don't want to be the one to discipline his children. I think that's out of my position. Now, I may say something and leave it up to him or that other person what they want to do. And I think it should be vice versa, because why would you do that, if you don't have the same heart. The whole idea of providing guidance and discipline to an individual is the idea that you're doing it out of love. I'm gonna say it that way. And if my love is for that individual, of course it's going to carry that person. But realistically, it's not as if I gave birth to that child. We got to be honest with ourselves. People will say it, but they don't. They're saying it so they can get you. I'm just saying the truth, or to be with you, because they know that's part of what they got to do. But in their mind, it may be different. And I'm a woman, and I'm just telling the truth. I know I'm not going to be whooping somebody else's children. I'm not, because guidance is supposed to be out of love. 100%. I believe that. Like, if I've guided my children, it's out of love. It's out of my heart. What you got to say about that?
I don't care if they married.
Yeah.
that's if it's my kid, that's her husband.
Right.
That ain't my child. Anything. That is my daughter. Is my that's nothing. To be honest with you, I don't care how much you provide, whatever. They ain't got nothing to do with nothing. That is
Yeah.
the product of having kids and not being with the mother or the father. A married man, if you can marry one of my exes today. You still don't have no say so over my kid.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way. Like, if I marry somebody, she got kids, I'm never going to get involved or interfere with another man's child in their relationship. I am a mature person. So
Mm-hmm.
I would expect the same. Like, I don't that no, I've heard it all the time. But what if I get married? No, I don't care.
Yeah.
No. You can get married all you want to. Just know I'm still gonna be active. I mean, you can
Right.
be married, get married all you want to. That don't mean nothing. That baby
Right.
got my last name.
Right.
That's my baby. You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
Even if you are married, he better not say nothing out of line to her.
Yeah. Yeah.
He better not do nothing out of line to
Yeah.
her. I ain't really gonna be around her like that. To be honest with you, I don't
Yeah.
trust people like that.
Yeah. For things to work, the way things got and the Bible have to be involved. We experience a lot of things because we are doing it our way. That's true. That's true.
But I get that. That is true.
Yeah.
However, God is love, right? Love is still
Yeah.
protection. And if
Yeah.
we're made in God's image, regardless of who we're with, we're still supposed to protect the people that we love.
Yeah.
And he's given us Well, God has given us kids, and we know that as parents,
Mm-hmm.
we have to love our kids regardless of the order in which we did it, which I understand. But even then, just because there's an order, that doesn't mean that it works all the time. Because
Mm-hmm.
if it did, we wouldn't have any divorce rates.
Oh yeah.
We would just have marriages.
Yeah.
Everybody would be blissful and. But
Yeah.
that's not how it works right now.
Yeah.
Now, God will place things in your spirit to
Yeah.
help you to protect your child.
Yeah.
God will give you discernment to help you to protect your child, but you have to be willing to listen to him.
Yeah.
Because there are some people who claim they hear God, but they don't. They hear the devil.
Yeah.
They hear Satan telling them, hey, you can have whatever you want. Don't even worry about your kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
But God is telling you, hey, this is not a good look for you. This
Yeah.
guy or this woman is not ready to heal. This woman is going to hurt you. And you're like, no, God, I can fix them. Then now you're praying to God to give you the tools and the courage to fix them. Now you're asking God to fix them, but he told you,
Yeah.
leave them alone.
Right.
Back up. Or
Right.
vice versa. I feel like I've stayed in situations that no longer serve my purpose, and I had to learn from that.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
I had to really understand what it really meant to love someone.
Yeah.
I didn't have it at first
Yeah.
because I was.
Uh-oh. Well, we're gonna wait for him to come back. Well, if you're just now joining us, we're talking about authentic love. And I have Clinton Patton. Wonder why they call you bitch. Is his new book. Very provocative. But his goal is to save women's lives. So we're kind of underlining some domestic abuse situations. And then someone asked me about my book. Let me tell you about my book. I have Gumbo for the Black Woman's Soul, and its stories of resilience, triumph, and the power of sisterhood. So this is my book. And you can always inbox me at Roberta the Tool Lady, and I'll be sure to get it to you. Also, with my book, I have a workbook as well. So if you're willing to work some of these things out that I and Mr. Patton have been talking about, you're going to really love this book. I promise you. It is rich, very rich. It's a lot of soul in this book. So yes, inbox me, and I'm pretty sure I'll get it to you. You're gonna love it. It's gonna help. If you know anyone in domestic situations, uh, you're gonna want them to have this book and the workbook. All right, now Clint is playing back.
Man, I don't know what happened.
All right, now guess what, audience? It is Clint's birthday, and he still blessed me with coming on the show. He didn't come on the night we were supposed to be having the panel of dating, but he covered, he picked up and he made up for it because we talked about it tonight. So Clint, happy birthday. If I could sing, I would sing it to you.
Thank you.
No. So what in this new year do you see for yourself?
Well, my main thing is getting my book, tying up the loose ends of my book and getting it launched by at least the end of October, because I feel like it's an awesome book. So I wrote the book. I did a video on TikTok. If you're not following me on TikTok, go follow me for more advice on relationships, everything. It's influential, right? So I said, a man that calls you a bitch will kill you. And I started talking about why this was the case or whatever, right? So then I noticed that it started to get traction. It ended up getting 2.6 million views. And so then I was like, there's a lot of women who have experienced being called a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
That often leads up to being murdered. or being abused in some type of way that leads to being murdered.
Right.
So then I started to think about it, manifested what I wanted to say and everything. And I said, wonder why he calls you bitch. And understand the disrespectful behavior because it's disrespectful. And when to walk away because you need to walk away.
Right.
So I would talk about the history of the word bitch, how it's used in media, movies, magazines.
Yeah.
I talk about every instance in which it's used. Like, why would he call you a bitch when he's driving?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or why would he call you a bitch after at home but not in public? Like it
Right.
is a really it's a really deep book. It's deep.
Right. Right. And when you said media, you know what I thought about? I thought about the rap music. A lot of it is,
Yeah, rap music,
this bitch, that bitch, this bitch over here.
movies. Yeah.
And now if we see they don't even respect women, a lot of them are not even interested in a relationship with women.
At
So
all.
really, right. So really it's a degrading
Yeah.
word. And to me, whenever you call people, names of animals or tools, uh, and just words that can be interchanged with subjects and objects, then you're minimizing who they are and you're taking that human aspect away. And I think if you take a person from being a human, then it's easy to unalive them, to kill them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Yeah. That's what they did. Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely. That's exactly what it is.
yeah. Because in your mind, that's not even a human at this point. It's a dog.
Mm. It's like the instigator. Like
Yeah.
the that word is it's like the go ahead and do it. You
Right.
know what I mean? Do it now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Right.
it's just that word has so much power that people aren't really they feel like they use it because they like that's my bee, that's my girl, no whatever. But I'm not gonna call nobody that I care about that type of name.
Yeah.
Call you by your name.
Yeah. Yeah. And because that's what it does. Whenever we do that, even calling, hey ho, that's that's a tool. That's a
Yeah,
tool. That's something that you put in the shed. So how you gonna call somebody a tool that you put in the shed that rust? It's all kind of stuff happens to that tool. You leave
but
it
they
outside.
dudes that do that, dudes that do
Uh-huh.
women like that,
Yeah.
they don't like women in the first place.
Right. Right. They
Like what
cheat.
you don't know about people who are abusive is they are really feminine in the first place. They learn to manipulate from their mama. And I hate to be not in all cases, but for the most part, if you have a man, he's been around his mom and other aunties and stuff like that, he learns his manipulation tactics from his mama. And
Mhm.
then when he started abusing you, he's looking at it like it's two women fighting.
Yeah.
He don't even see himself as a man.
Right. Right.
He
Right.
don't see himself as a man.
Right.
No matter how many times he act like he is and want to control, he don't see himself as a man.
Right.
That's why he's abusive.
Right. And he wouldn't have to be domineering in that way
Right.
because he already knows that, as you said before, that he's built a certain way opposite of what
Yeah.
the woman is anyway. The upper
Yeah.
strength for a man is much more stronger than in a woman naturally. Now I'll say it that way because we do have some women who, they lift weights and everything else. They
Yeah,
ready
but even
to,
still,
but
she can
mhm,
lift all the way she want to live. She's still not stronger than the weakest man.
right, right, right,
She's maybe
and
stronger than other women, but she's still
right.
not stronger than the weakest man.
Right, right. So
A
I
man can
tell
hurt
them,
you anytime he want to.
yeah, yeah,
A man, somebody built like a man can hurt you anytime he get ready. And
yeah,
that's what when people say, "Well, she gonna protect her kid." I don't want any woman in a position where they have to protect themselves from a man that could potentially hurt them, and vice versa.
yeah,
Because there are women that could hurt men too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, and I think you get that flight or fear that's everybody, right? When you put in a
Hmm.
situation, but the thing is to know that you really want to be preventative. I've
Right.
seen a lot of cases where the adopted or the step parents have broke the children's legs. I've
Yeah,
seen situations where they have killed the children, you know, just,
yep,
and these are stepchildren, you know, and so it has went bad for a lot of people.
yeah. I could
And
have been one of them kids.
yeah,
Like literally, like I was in the hospital for about 3 weeks because I got an infection from that whooping with the extension cord.
yeah,
I could have been one of those kids, and that's what I tried to express to my ex, that you can't play with somebody that's been through that.
yeah,
They're not gonna let
yeah,
you do what you want to do. I'm sorry, like you know,
yeah,
you
yeah,
might not like it. It may feel like control, but my main concern is protecting my baby. She's 6. She
yeah,
can't really. She's not gonna really articulate anything. The person knows that I don't like them, so why would you want to have my baby around this person?
yeah,
And you know the reason I don't like the person is because you told me a lot of things about this person that I know for a fact that's abusive.
yeah,
And you don't
yeah,
have to. You can't get that by me.
yeah, yeah. And I think too, you know, when, because we call it it was, you, what did domestic violence used to be called? Was it just,
Intimate partner violence.
okay? So that's domestic, meaning everybody in the house past can catch it. So what I think is that let me think, where was my thought at? It was something you just said. People don't know that for one, they don't like to listen to the hints. They don't like to follow their thoughts on it. When they hear
Mm-mm.
it, they like to be pat. They only see the good part of it. I guess I'll say it that way. They
Mm-hmm.
might see the flowers, the candy, the cheesecake factory, you know, maybe a purse here and there. And this what I see, but they like to kind of say the other stuff is minimum. You know, that's nothing big. Uh, and that's usually
But
what
that's
costs.
that. A lot of people don't know what relationship consists of because they go with the flow. They think it's
Mhm.
supposed to be fairy tale, glitz and glamour the entire relationship. That's not how you build anything. You got to
Yeah,
build that foundation of love. Got to be authentic in that relationship before for it to grow. Or you will
yeah,
spend 15 years in an extended lustful situation. And there are situations where one person can actually be loving, and the other person can have extended lust
hmm,
because one person may know what love is. I know for me, my love is I'm going to protect you.
hmm,
And my protection may sound like, hey, get your ass over here. You know what I mean? It's not that I'm trying to be mean, but get over it because you might, something is going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, come on. That doesn't
yeah,
mean I'm being disrespectful. This mean like, come on. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Or, hey, don't have my baby around this dude. Like, don't date with my baby with this dude because you don't know him.
yeah,
You don't know what is, and then not to mention there are, again, you have people out here who have had sexual trauma,
hmm,
and they
yeah,
may disclose that to you or they may not. And
yeah,
I'm not saying that all of them will offend someone, but I'm
yeah,
just not willing to take that risk.
yeah. It's a big
And I could
possibility. Yeah,
and I could grant grace all day long, just
yeah,
not with my kid.
right, right,
With me, okay, fine, cause I can protect myself.
yeah,
But with my kid, nah, you can't. Ain't that's not going. No.
yeah. I agree with that. Now, as a woman, as a single parent, when I dated, I didn't take my children on dates. I had to really like know, like, we're getting married for you to like meet my children,
Hmm.
because I didn't really want you in their environment. Does that make sense? But it's because I'm their
Right.
protector, right? And so, you know, if we going to the movies, that don't have nothing to do with my children. If we going out to eat, that has nothing to do with my children. So I always wonder, you know, when people do incorporate their children, maybe it's a babysitter issue. I don't know. But I always
No,
think,
they should. If you got to incorporate your kids, maybe you shouldn't be dating right now.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, because it's important. Like until you understand that a person don't love your kid like their parents, and their dads may not love them, but I'm not speaking for them.
yeah,
I'm speaking for the dads who are active, the
yeah,
dads who love their kids to the moon and back, with everyone infinity, right? Talk about them present fathers, the active fathers, right?
yeah,
They're not gonna tolerate none of that. Like they don't forget all that. They don't care about none of that. And you
yeah,
could talk about all it is it ain't seen as he could be protecting me too. No, it's like, oh my God, he's controlling.
yeah,
He's controlling. Oh my God, he's jealous. Or he's just mad because I moved on.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. That that's what it had to be with me. You know, I have people who I dated. It's like, you got kids? Yeah, I do. But but it just wasn't. I'm not. You're not dating my kids. You're only dating me. I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
You know, yeah,
yeah. It ain't no. You're not. Ain't playing house with mine. It
right.
ain't no dating shot. See how that person. Nah, cause that person could still be the same person. No.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then I ain't even mentioned like, what do y'all think about older women that are dating, like taking, let's say, younger men serious in their 20s?
I For me, because I'm kind of like an older woman, you know. I think that it's fair, you know. And I'm just gonna be honest about it. And I know a lot of
Hmm.
older women won't say it, but I think it's unfair to the younger person. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because I can have a conversation with my kids and be like, "Where are y'all at?" You see what I'm saying? So I sure know that I can't have a relationship with no 20-year-old. I just couldn't do it. I don't. I sure wouldn't know what the heck they talking about. So I just think it has to be this sex. And if that's what you're
Yeah.
gonna hold this person up, that's holding up their life. That's kind of taking some of their time is important, right? How we spend our time. And
Hmm.
I don't think it's fair personally. I mean, but if you're a cool girl or a mountain
No,
lion,
I just
hey.
for real, for real.
I say I
I
think
can
it's
say
crazy,
for men and
LOL,
women
for
to be
men and
and
women
why.
that do this, because why not get your match? And that's what I think too.
So the
Because you
way I
got,
look at it, and
uh-huh.
the way I look at it, I've had a experience with it, so now I see it from a different perspective. Um, for you to be anything in your 40s and to date somebody in their 20s, your something has you're not mature, because there's nothing a 20-year-old, and even for myself, could speak to me about or talk to me about. Like we're on two different wavelengths, right?
Yeah.
And then again, I would feel like I am robbing that person of their life because I've already been 20. I've already been 25.
Right.
I've already lived through those things, right?
Right.
So I feel like, and I know people are, this age ain't nothing but a number. Age is more than a number.
Hey, R.
It ain't
Kelly
just a
started
number.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a number. And don't get me wrong, I know you may want somebody 2, 3 years younger, 5 years. Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
But to be 40 something and dating somebody in their 20s, like you have no business doing it. Even as a mom or a father, like a 20-year old father and a 40-year-old father gonna have two different mindsets.
Right.
Mature father gonna have two
Yeah.
different mindsets. That 20-year-old is still gonna be immature for
Yeah.
a 20-year-old.
Right.
Because you get some people say, well, he's mature for his age. He's
Yeah.
mature for that age, not
Right.
as an older age.
Right, because that's what I
You know
say.
what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, hey, I don't know. Hey, it's what that one little guy, he always talked to me, but hey, he's into Hello Kitty and Pikachu. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know nothing about that.
Right, 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 right.
What am I
Mhm.
gonna do with that?
Yeah.
I don't
Right,
know.
right.
So it just don't it's just too much for me. But if that's your thing, yeah, that's your thing. But I don't think I think it's more manipulation, and it's more
It
of
is because you don't. I know for what I've learned in my situation is that the moment you start holding a person accountable, they start hating you.
yeah, yeah,
They will hate you. They start to hate you when you hold them accountable. They
yeah,
can't see that you hold them accountable as a way of you protecting them. It's a way of you showing them that you love them because you want the best for them.
yeah,
But they will hate you, and you will
yeah,
be. And then the person that you're, the young dude, a young chick that you're dating are so young and immature. They are also insecure. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Like you are playing with these kids frontal cortex ain't even developed yet, and you got your old self playing with them like that, trying to put them in. Yeah, I said, boy, yeah, it won't be.
yeah,
Mm,
yeah. It's a lot. That's
you
yeah.
better, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah, I didn't even think about the brain not even being developed yet, because the
yeah.
brain is not fully developed. What, till 24?
If that, it might not even be. It's not probably not even developed then, because if that individual who have had some type of trauma,
Oh yeah,
the
you're
brain
right.
stopped a long time ago.
That's right. That's right.
It stopped developing emotionally a long time ago.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Uh,
You see what I'm
that's
saying? Like, yeah,
yeah. That's
yeah,
too much for me. I can't. I can't do it because I'm like, what are we gonna talk about? What are we gonna have in common? And I don't want to. I don't want to rob you, or like I say, even talking to my children.
right.
Like,
I'm
what?
living my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't about to.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna rob nobody of they years that they need to learn from, and so they can get their wisdom just because I want to have a younger woman
Right.
or just some young sex. You know, to be
Right.
honest with you, like no, I like
Right.
I want them older anyway. They take
Right.
care of their stuff. They still work. They still, boy,
Hey,
I'm
and
trying to tell you, it's a
they take
difference, man. It's a
naps too.
difference. Yeah, they take care of them. Boy, them older women take care of their stuff. It works, and it's like a Cadillac, boy. That Cadillac stay on that road, boy,
Right.
and keep it on the road. Them young folks, oh man, you got a beat up Honda, a beat up Toyota. Like they don't even know how to take care of it. Like
Right.
for real, for real.
Right.
Like the
Right.
sex ain't even the same
Right.
because an older woman knows her body.
Right. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's another show there, Clint. Now you gonna have to
I
come back
know.
to that
Hey,
one. Well, all right,
yeah.
we're gonna go ahead and close out. Clint, you want to lead the audience with something before we leave?
Oh, be on the lookout for Wonder Why He Calls You Bitch. Also, if you haven't learned anything tonight, just make sure that you know what authentic love is. Love does not hurt, and at the end of the day, we all want love. Just make sure it's actual love and not extended lust. And last but not least, please do not date with your kids. And that'll be it.
All right. Well, love you all. Thank you for joining us tonight. Another put it all on red, and peace and love, of course. Good night.